This will be an interesting one, folks. We've got Piano playing as a Warp Spider Exarch, and we've got Kickin playing as a Warp Spider Exarch. So this is a hard Eldar mirror. I always go double Guardians in an Eldar mirror. What I do after that, I'm not sure. I've not played an Eldar mirror in, God, it must be literally years. The thing is, ranges obviously counter shurikens, unless the shuriken are behind energy shields, in which case then the rangers can get zoned out quite badly if the map's like tight, like Quacerasi, where they've got to run past the shuriken, because if the shuriken's behind an energy shield, it takes rangers forever to actually take down the energy shield with a long rifle. So that's like what's going on there, but if it's a big map like this, you'd have to think double rangers would be the way to go. It feels like no matter where you put your shurikens with energy shields here, there's always like a way around it. Like if they're here, you can sort of come over here, or you can just like ignore them and go down here and through here, and it's just so big and open. It feels like snipers would always be able to get around. But on that basis, what else you could do is you could just go for double Guardians at the start and drop a load of gens and not even get tier 1.5. Just ignore it. Fast tech to spiders and a Wraith Lord, and just win like that. Ignoring the tier 1.5, because rangers can't bash. You'd be relying on the banshees, so you'd always just try and force off the enemy banshees, and then you know if they're not on the field, you're pretty much safe from the bashing perspective. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Looks like Piano is going for the rangers. Kickin hasn't dropped any gens, whereas Piano has got the 2 gens, which is what you'd expect. I don't know why Kickin has so much requisition if he's not going for another Guardian. He shouldn't. He should be dropping gens. He's going to go for a Shuriken. So we'll see what he does with it. I don't know what the plan is. Maybe he just wants one Shuriken and a fast tech. I could see that being okay as well. Maybe just one Shuriken and one battle equipment for some energy shields for that Shuriken to basically protect your power point. Put like energy shields here. This is a nice choke point. If you have an energy shield Shuriken here, the rangers would have to go all the way like over here to shoot you. So that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Our forces shall have tools for their task.
Okay, well, he just snagged a nice kill there on Piano's Guardians right at the start. He's going to be unhappy with that one, isn't he? Oh dear. It's the beauty of the teleporting hero. He's a bit of a hybrid hero, the Warp Spider Exarch. He's actually got the lowest range DPS by default, but it's compensated for that pretty decent melee. And that is a pretty sound routing of Piano right there. He says it's over pretty much. I mean, it's tough, right? Because it's obviously a hard mirror. So he is obviously now behind quite a lot. But what he doesn't realise, I think, is that Kickin was really late on getting his gens for some reason, for no good reason. So he probably assumes that Kickin isn't, and Kickin's got a really good economy right now. But yeah, Kickin was really late. He only just dropped his gens. Are they even built yet? No, they're not even built yet. They've only just built right now. So that is why Piano is still in this. Kickin should have built those gens ages ago. Should have just fucked the Rangers. Forget it. Just go for a Guardian Weapons team and go straight to tier 2 and win with a Wraith Lord. The reason, by the way, you never go Falcon in tier 2 in this matchup, you really shouldn't, is because Warp Spiders dominate. Think about the armors of the units in this matchup. Every single tier 1 unit is light infantry. Tier 2, Wraith Guard are heavy infantry, and so are Fire Dragons, and neither of them are particularly popular because, well, Fire Dragons get torn to pieces by Banshees, so do Wraith Guard. Banshees plus Autarch will kind of dominate that kind of play, and Spiders will kill basically all the tier 1 roster. If you go for a Falcon and the enemy goes for Spiders into a Wraith Lord, I don't know how you're going to win, because the Wraith Lord will just pick up a Bright Lance, the Spiders will teleport in, use Haywire on your Falcon to snare it, and then you can't get away, because you're snared, and the Wraith Lord will start a melee charge and kill you with a Bright Lance. So I guess the only time you could do the Falcon is if you could sort of repair through that damage, because you go for like triple Guardians instead of Banshees in tier 1 and you get a Shuriken, so you then can make a Bright Lance. Or you go for triple Banshees, a Falcon and a Fire Dragon, and that's like some crazy off-meta shit. I could see that possibly working. But if you're going for a meta tier 1, which is 1 Guardian, 1 Banshee and 2 Rangers, you would never go for a Falcon in tier 2. Also consider that if the Wraith Lord gets a melee charge on the Falcon, it will basically be able to kill it with a Bright Lance. Now normally, you wouldn't let the Wraith Lord get close, right? You'd micro your Falcon because you're a very good player. But if there's 2 ranges in tier 1, there's a good chance the Wraith Lord is going to be infiltrated by a hollow field, so you won't realise it's there. And then your Falcon drives forward, trying to bleed the enemy with its ranged guns, and all of a sudden you have a melee charge with Wraith Lord with a Bright Lance on your ass. Your Falcon dies. Yeah. I speak from experience. I killed Holy Hammer's Falcon with a Wraith Lord using hollow field a long time ago in the Elite Mod Championship. This has deviated from the meta though. This has gone quite weird. I don't like Kickin's build. I think you really should stick to either Shurikens or Rangers. I don't think you want both. And it's funny because you might think that you want the Ranger for detection, but if you have one Ranger, you just lose all the sniper wars anyway, so what's the fucking point? I don't think it's worth delaying your tech so much. But I would generally, on a map like this, not be going for Rangers anyway. I'd be going for just... sorry, I'd not be going for Shurikens anyway. I'd only go for Rangers. I think the play would be to get one battle equipment and a Shuriken and just defend this sort of area. You have energy shields in these 2 places, so the Rangers can't force off the Shuriken and it protects your farm faster. That might be a good play, you know. You could do it this side too. It might be a good play on this map. But the enemy, in response then, should drop 4 gens, which is exactly what Piano has done with an extra gen down here because you're not focusing down there because you only have 3 units. But what's interesting here is that Piano, perhaps out of desperation, has dropped 4 gens, even though he has fewer units now in tier 1. Typically, the guy who has 4 gens would be the guy who has... no, well that's true actually, yeah. Well, the 4th gen would usually be built by a fast techer, which is a guy who has 3 units at the start, which obviously wasn't Piano initially, but then when you realise the enemy's fast teching, you realise, oh, they can't bash me then because I've got a bigger army than them, so you try to catch up in tech by building an extra gen yourself. Which is what Piano has done now, but he's done it not because he's realised the enemy is fast teching, but rather because he realised he is behind and he really wants to try and make up the lost time. And this is interesting as well, isn't it? Piano's Banshees have the aspect here, whereas Kickin's don't, so Kickin's obviously lose the fight quite handily. That's why they're trying to back off right now and stay in play, backing off to the Shuriken. If they force off the Banshees with the Shuriken, the Banshees of Kickin can go back in and try and bash the gen. So Kickin does get to tier 2 first, obviously. He spent less in tier 1. We had so many Rangers from Piano. But Piano's not far behind at all. It'll be interesting to see what goes on in tier 2. So we now have Exarch on the Banshees. Okay, so Piano just retreats. Yeah. You don't want to risk being a retreat path with these fuckers. The Exarch obviously is very scary. Probably on par with 2.5, maybe even 3 normal Banshees. And Piano's going for the Wraith Lord straight away. Kickin can't get it because he's paying for power blades. And he went for the aspect. No, the Exarch even. What?
The enemy is claiming a victory point. Adding support.
See, this is what's really annoying. There's like no simple way to counter these Rangers because they counter the Shuriken because of the immobility and they just bleed you. Piano? What the hell? Okay, finally he uses Kinetic Pulse. A little late, because now you can scream and get some point-blank hits with the Shuriken. Oh my god, they're going to kill the Exarch! They do! Piano, that was terrible! What was that? Oh my god, he should have Kinetic Pulsed ages ago before the Banshees went in and lost all that health. Bloody hell, Piano. That was sloppy as hell. This is going to be interesting. Power Blades on the Spider, so 53.5 heavy melee DPS. That's... You don't see that often. Probably because the Death Spinner can just stun the enemy Spider if he wants to go into melee, and then he gets ripped up. Not to mention Banshees are really scary for a Spider. But we'll see. Obviously, if he's going around the sidelines and he's only fighting one enemy at a time, he'll do quite good. He'll be able to easily 1v1 anything except the Banshees. But now Piano's got the Spiders, so this is a classic build from Piano. I've just realised, holy shit, Piano is below 100 VPs already, to the 500 from Kickin. However, this build of Piano is way better than Kickin's. The versatility here of this build is great, and the internal synergies as well. You outrange with the rangers and bleed the enemy. Spiders allow you to inflict a lot of bleed and counter any Falcon. And also help you win a Wraithlord duel as well if one comes around. Look at these spiders, man. Oh, it's so scary. Another kinetic pulse. With the aspect, the Spider Exarch, not the hero but the actual leader of the squad, gets a really nice power melee weapon. Banshee Wars, who gets the specials wins, unless they're both, one of them's leveled and the other isn't. Oh, okay, well Kickin's is level 2, so his can't be special, and so they dominate that fight. Can they get the Banshees? They got the global buff. Ooh, very close. I was not watching the HP, was that about 5 or 7 HP? I forgot the name of the buff. What's the buff called? The 30% range, 30% damage buff. Crack shot! It's crack shot. Yeah, they're on crack, baby! They're on crack, baby! Look at those spiders! They're on crack! I don't know what that's meant to be.
Engage in melee.
Spin to win. Just trying it. Trying to spin to win. Oh, I really don't like this build. You're getting the improved targeters, 50% damage increase, except that your range damage is terrible. It's only like 21 DPS because you've got a melee upgrade. So that's so inefficient. You're paying loads to get a DPS increase of like 10. Whatever. Map control looking at all kinds of blue right now. No webway gates from either players, which is quite curious. I would expect that to start popping up soon as the VPs become more and more relevant, especially from Piano's end. He's already down to 85 VPs, of course feeling quite comfy right now with his triple cap. That's a nice hollow field though, letting the Eldar of Kickin get nice and close without taking any attrition from the Rangers. But ooh, this is a bad situation for the Banshees of Kickin. That Wraithlord is right there. Sneaky Wraithlord, a little late on a haywire grenade. But we have a Bright Lance, and that is the advantage of going for... Oh, did they just fight the Banshees? Oh my god, they did with Fleet. They took out Kickin's Banshees. They're trying to stall right now, killing loads of Banshees there with a Plasma Grenade and the DPS coming out of Kickin's forces. However, they're not going to be able to finish off the Wraithlord. In fact, this Bright Lance might die. No, it's alright. There was no second swing from the Wraithlord. I thought there might have been another swing there. Is that another... Oh god, another Spider Squad for Piano. This composition of Piano is so good right now. But I just noticed, he's lost his Guardians at some point. When did he lose his Guardians? So he's got no repairs for the Wraithlord. Fortunately for him, Wraithlords are made out of Wraithbone, so you can see down there they do slowly regen, even without repairs, but it's flipping slow. And unlike monstrous creatures of the Tyranids, that won't go up if you're in base. They don't heal in base, so he is still quite reliant on the Guardians, but I guess he ain't got a choice. He ain't got no rep right now. Just repurchased a lot of models, so not going to be any repairs for the Wraithlord anytime soon. So Kickin will be able to whittle it down just with haywire grenades, and maybe that'd be awesome if we can kill it with the Power Blades and the Spider Exarch. But we'll see, that's pretty dubious. Right now, Kickin keeps charging headfirst into the enemy Eldar, which is generally a terrible idea, especially when they're set up behind the energy shields that he himself built. You can see that Spider Squad got kind of wrecked there. Oh, he still has the Bright Lance. Oh, I thought he lost the Bright Lance. Whoops. No, he didn't. He got out. Yeah, kind of hard to use it when the enemy has 2 squads of spiders. Spider, so... Oh, he went for the retreat kill, but he mistimed his teleport. Well, misplaced it. He put it here instead of here. Would have been a dead Ranger squad. I mean, that is the beauty of the Power Blades, obviously. It really increases those sort of... oh, what do they call it in the card games? Not the benchmarks, the critical areas, the breakpoints. It changes the breakpoints to wipe models that are retreating dramatically in the favour of your hero. But he missed it. He misplaced it. Sad. You can see why the Warp Spiders dominate the Eldar Mirror, I hope. I mean, look at the bleed that they inflict here. It's just relentless. And yeah, you can go Fire Dragons, or you can go Dark Reapers. Or you can go Wraith Guard, all of which are heavy infantry, so they're a bit more resilient, but they're still quite low HP, so they still get kind of wrecked. And like Dark Reapers, they're too immobile. The problem with all the heavy infantry is they get wrecked by Rangers, and they get wrecked by Banshees. That's the real problem. Dark Reapers not contributing to killing Wraith Lords is also an issue. If you have more Warp Spiders than the enemy, then your Wraith Lord will win the Wraith Lord duel because you can chain your hair wires together. So that's why the meta is how it is. I actually would love to see someone try to win the mirror without Banshees, because I think that's quite viable. Probably especially if you're the Farseer, but I think as long as you're not the Warlock, you should have a good chance of that. If you just go triple Guardians, get a bunch of energy shields, if they're by Rangers. Wait to see if they go double Rangers. If so, get a bunch of battle equipment on your Guardians, get one Shuriken which you use defensively and build 4 gens. And then just spam Spiders in tier 2 alongside a Wraith Lord. No, don't. Go for a Falcon. That's the idea, isn't it? Because you've got triple Guardians, so you can repair through. Yeah. And then, after you get the Falcon, then you spam Warp Spiders, and you laugh with all the range damage at Banshees, because you just melt them before you're ranged. I'd like to see it. Spider duels. Banshees fleeting in right there a little bit late on the kinetic force, missed the Exarch anyway. See, if the Banshees get into melee, obviously they can use Psychic Scream and then everyone gets suppressed. Oh. Slow reaction there on the attack. I think Kickin has pretty much lost at this point. A nice comeback from Piano. It was kind of obvious that he was going to get the comeback, given he was down to the 100 VPs, eh? 100 VPs versus 400 or so. Yeah, you've thrown it. Incredible. But that's what can happen in Dawn of War 2. There's a lot of comeback mechanics in the game for a reason, and you never know. One lapse of concentration, you can throw away all the gains that you made in 20 minutes of dominating your opponent. And it's what makes this game so beautiful. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of fighting. It reminds me of MMA, where you can be winning on points for a long time. You're putting more damage on the opponent, and then boom, one lapse of concentration. Oh shit, they got that hook. They knocked you out, or they got that submission. That's going to be the game, folks. Piano takes this one. I do get a lot of replay submissions from Piano, and he does have a tendency to not send in replays where he loses. If you are someone who watches some of these tournaments, some of these events in which he plays, and you find some good games in which he loses, please do submit them, of course, if they are good games. Don't just send in games that he loses, that's terrible. But you know, if they're good games and you know he loses, that'd be really cool, just to mix it up, because obviously I don't want to develop this habit where every time that Piano features on the channel, he wins, because it's always Piano that's sending in the Piano replays. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, folks. That's going to be all from your boy Torpid this time. I am signing out.